I was picking beans the other day using plastic 5-gallon buckets. Now, one to pick in and one to set on. Now, these here buckets, they sure are handy. I reckon a 5-gallon bucket is one of the good Lord's finest gifts to anybody living on the farm. Now, within my side here, I can see buckets. I got catching water under the drip of the sheds and out of the drain of my kitchen, or my sink over here at the garden. And I got feeding some, and I got slop bucket, and I got fertilizing one, and 2 here in my truck to carry manure and from the barn to the garden. And I got cat food and some, and nuts and bolts and some, and plumbing supplies and some, and several in the garden here just to set my butt on. Yep, the old 5-gallon bucket sure does come in handy. I wonder what we done before we had them. And, well, that led me to think about that. You see, I try to use my brain as often as I can, just in case I lose it. And that could be from health or from my freedom to do so. And both of them ain't a good thing. So, what did they do before we had buckets? Now, that was a period of time where they had some 5-gallon buckets, but it was kind of scarce and hard to come by for regular folks. So, but they did make what they call a lard stand. It was a thin wall container that put in when they rendered up lard at hog killing time. And of course, there was plenty of 55-gallon drums, and before that there was wooden barrels, and but they were large volume containers. Now small wooden kegs. Now we used to have some of them. We used them for water kegs for the farm hands at cotton picking time and stuff, and not before we had plastic or metal coolers. Now metal and wooden water buckets, they was used to carry water from way out to the house for cleaning and drinking and stuff. And yeah, they used to get what they call an 8-pound lard bucket store when you bought lard. Now, boy, them's highly prized. They use them a lot. And my great grandfather, Jim McCoy, he died about 1910, but he wouldn't drink water out of a metal bucket. He always used a cedar bucket. He used to hang on the wall over at the old McCoy log house before it burned back in the 1960s. So I decided last year to build me one of them, so I built one out of cedar and used oak bands and handle on it. Turned out pretty good, but it took me 2 days though. Now, another thing they used to back store stuff with was crock jugs and churns and stuff like that. They put everything from cider and syrup and kraut and to whiskey in them. But that sort of fell out of use about 1910 when the United States government passed a law about safe foods. You couldn't use the containers over again, so they went to glass jars and stuff like that. Now around here, most communities, had basket makers. They supplied people with egg baskets, and apple baskets, and big old cotton and corn baskets. But ever since Mr. McCauley over here, Stevenson, Alabama, died, ain't nobody around here took up that trade, and that's really what you do. Yes, things sure have changed. What we're doing right now will be obsolete in a few years. But on my farm, old 5-gallon bucket, it's going to be used as long as I'm around. And I prize every one of them that I can come up with. So you folks out there, be sure that you can get you a 5-gallon bucket because they're handy. You find all kinds of uses for them. And who knows? Well, heck, it may turn into a collector's item one of these days. Well, that pretty much takes care of my observations of Yucca, Alabama today. I'm Ted McCoy, and I reckon we'll talk again sometime.